stress.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 6, the finale episode. It is episode 17. And it's been an interesting season. We've had some good episodes, some bad episodes, but episodes nonetheless. Okay, but y'all know first things first. Make sure to do what? Subscribe to my channel because that's a nice thing to do. Okay, subscribe to this channel, to my Jaylee's Corner Talk channel. The link for that is in the description box below and stuff. Okay, y'all know to go ahead and like the video and comment and share and relax and center yourself and inhale and all these things I say every time on every episode. But you know now, so let's go ahead and do it. Okay, you can also follow me on social media at Jaylee's Corner on everything around here. Okay, like the video and subscribe or whatever. I'm gonna be popping in and out of the camera depending on the StreamYard stream and how things work. So again, I am here and stuff. Okay. Now I feel like Michael was really out here wishing the whole time that Juan Dixon was here right now, even when Juan Dixon was in his face at that point in time. But let's get into this episode. Now I feel like the episode was a little bit boring to me. I feel like if we didn't need 17 episodes, I was like, oh, okay. Because this episode, not a lot happened, even within the vow renewal. It was like, that's it. That's it. It started off, we seen Ray and Karen sitting around talking to the event planner about, the wedding being the following day. It was cute. I was like, okay, we seen Ray send some shady shit. We seen Karen send some shady shit. It's what happens in every single episode or whatever. We know that they're gonna be lonely, whatever. We know that Karen is like not all couples make it to where they are. Giselle. Cool and whatnot. Okay, now past that, we seen the little foursome date, okay, between Michael and Ashley and Juan and Robin. But we all know this is a date for who? For Juan and Michael. Okay, why? Because Juan is friends with Michael and Michael only wants Juan. Okay, now look, I don't see an issue with them to have this little bromance. I also don't think, that Michael really wants to bang Juan out. I mean, he might want to, but it could just be a good friendship. I'd like to try to normalize men being able to be friends without making it a sexual situation. So I'm let the butt pincher and the person who always ignores Robin be friends or whatever. Okay. Now the date to me disproved one little thing. Okay. That Michael loves Juan and Juan loves Michael. Okay, two men loving each other, friendly, I guess so. Okay, now Robin up and asked Michael, oh, when would you come around the group a little bit more? I'm saying you didn't come on the couples trip. I'm looking like, Robin, we don't ever see Juan either, my child. Okay, Juan also was missing from the couple trip. So I'm like, how you gonna ask somebody else's husband where they were when we never know? We never know where your boyfriend at. Okay, Juan Dixon is never here. Okay, so again, while you're asking Michael, where you been? As Juan, where have you been with Michael? We don't know. Okay, but Juan then get a look. I don't like being around Chris and Candice, and I was like, it's a catch-22 because Michael has done things that are aggravating and wrong. And so him having issues with Chris and Candice, it makes sense. But at the same time, sir, you have done some fucked up things too. So some folks may not want to be around you. So I'm like, I don't really care about that or whatever. But when he then say that Chris lives off Candice and Candice is living off her mom. I was like, no, don't do that. No. Now, even though that's what America thinks, okay, that Chris don't have no money and Candice is always living off her mother. I'm like, look, I do think now Candice is making her own money. I do think the first couple seasons that she was on the show, her mom was still helping her pay some bills. But again, if her mom has money, fine, fine, fine. Who cares? But I do think now her and Chris are probably more financially independent from Dottie paying this and paying that. Okay. Now Robin says in her confessional that she feels like Michael has an elitist attitude towards Candace and Chris. I was like, okay, Robin, 2 plus 2 is 4, my dear. We know these things. That ain't nothing new. Okay, water's wet, ice is cold, and sex feels great. Okay, tell me something I don't know. Okay, because that was not one of them. Now, when Ashley asked about them having a baby, I'm like, why are you asking these roommates, Ashley? When they're gonna have a baby? I'm like, they're not. Juan may keep saying that he wants to have a kid, and Robin may keep saying that she wants to have one for him. I don't believe either one of them. I think Robin, not Robin. I think Juan wants another baby because he don't want to be left with Robin all by himself when them kids is out the house. Okay, the kids, their youngest son is 13, I believe. So he like, you know what? Eventually, I'm gonna be stuck with this ride, but we need a buffer. We need a new baby. Okay. And I'm like, I don't think that's the thing to do. A baby ain't gonna fix nothing. Okay, not at all or whatever. But both Robin and Wam say how they have not even thought about, the new baby, if they want to get pregnant before the wedding, if they want to get pregnant after the fake wedding, because no one, I don't think any of us really believe Juan or Robin are going to get married because it's taken so long. And not that anyone has to rush their wedding, because let them go at their own pace. Fine, fine. Do what you will. But it just feels like Juan proposed to shut Robin up, and Robin wanted a proposal to shut people up. Okay, it's like, hey, we can still do the same old thing, live together separately. Okay, but people will think, oh, they're engaged now, and they'll shut up. It's like, we haven't shut up. We don't believe you, okay? But Robin brings up how, well, first of all, I don't want to have another baby around or whatever to deal with having an infant because, again, the youngest one's 13 years old, and Juan wasn't around to help with the kids when they were younger, and I don't want to get stuck with a baby again because he won't be around, and I don't have time for that. And I'm like, well, what's the point of you accepting a marriage, or marriage? What's the point of you accepting an engagement if you don't trust the man who wants to have you have another baby? If you don't trust him to be a good parent, is that a conversation to have before getting engaged? I'll leave that be. Okay, but why do act like, oh, it's no big deal. We can just pop out another baby. I was like, sir, no, have a conversation. But I don't get why Robin never checks Juan about what he wants, but he won't follow through with anything that she wants him to do to get it. Okay, it's like they just sitting off in tic tac toe. I don't know why. Now we do see Candice had a deal signing meeting with E1. We know it's a label. We know she put out that album that I ain't listened to and I ain't gonna listen to. Now look, no look. The Drag Back song was cool. Now I have not listened to it in full. I have not watched it. Has I watched the video in full? No, I have not. I've just heard the clips, and that's really it. Congratulations. Okay, but I'm like, okay, and next. Now while the label is happy to have her sign with them because she basically comes where she's already put her own money into 2 videos and she's already put out, well, she already has a couple songs and whatnot. And they're like, we're happy to have you around here, okay? But we do need to let you know, we need you to, to showcase the fact that you're an artist, okay? And that you may possibly be sensitive about your shit. Meaning, don't be on social media embarrassing us, okay? Meaning the Candace of 2 seasons ago was out here being reckless with her mouth using all kind of girls. Candace on social media is worse than Candace on the show. And I do think their point is, please don't say anything on social media that can cause some kind of backlash that can come back to our company to where we have to let your ass go. Okay? But please be the talented person you is. And we're gonna let her be. because we really care. Now we do see, well, I don't. Robin and Juan are at the new warehouse space that she has moved into because she needed more space for her hats. Okay, and I'm like, kudos to Robin. Okay, for taking the plunge. Okay, and doing what she needs to do for her business because that's what any business person is supposed to do. Okay, and she brings up how having this bigger space allows her to increase her inventory, which is smart because if you have a smaller space, you can only have so many hats, mean you can only process so many orders. In this location, she can have much more and sell much more and make more what? Money. Okay. Now she also brings up how they're building a bigger house. And the bigger house will give them space for another baby. I'm like, why do y'all keep having baby conversation when y'all don't? I don't think they really want a baby. I think Robin and Juan want to just have something either for the show to talk about for fake reasons or to keep a space in between them to have any kind of real conversation. Because it's fictional, baby, that's going to pop out of Robin's fictional uterus. You know, when she fictionally wants to have one, it's like, girl, bye. Okay, I don't believe you. But she brings up to Juan after speaking about this baby that, she does not want the same things to happen when the boys were, younger to happen with the new baby. Meaning you weren't around here. You wasn't helping me change diapers and be a parent to our kids when they were very, very young. And I do not want to have that same thing happen now. And oh, why did she say that? Juan got pissed. Juan got pissed, left. You out here making me look you out here making me look like a dickhead or whatever. What happened 13 years ago won't happen now. You're talking as if a person can't grow, and I'm not a better person now than I was then. And he's upset saying you keep bringing up this old shit, mainly on camera, and I don't like that or whatever. He took his microphone off, got in his car, and he was leaving. Juan, are you serious? When you took it the wrong way, and she's following him. Okay, like Juan, what are you doing? Because Robin know without Juan, she has no place on this show. So she needs to keep him happy to keep her holding a goddamn champagne glass because if not, she's gone. And he knows that too. And so I feel like he like I don't really like being on the show, but you want me here, and that's that bullshit. Now I'll say this. I get both their points. Robin has every right to tell Juan how she feels and what she does not want to happen again. She does not want history repeating itself. That's a valid point. That's a valid feeling for her to have and for her to express to him. The issue I think that Juan also has a right to be upset about is if he feel like I've shown you since in the past, let's say 10 years, or let's say the past 8 years, if I've shown you that I am an active parent to our children, why are you questioning me as a parent? I think his anger isn't about what he didn't do in the beginning. I think his anger comes from what he's shown her he could be as a parent since then. And so he has a right to be upset about her ignoring any growth he's had since his fuck ups. Okay, the same way Robin fucked up financially for them, and he had to forgive her and see that she's grown. I do think she should acknowledge if he's a better parent now than he was when the kids was babies, because he kept saying like that was then. I get it, but I've grown since then, so I see both their points. But Juan still acts like Robin, fuck you, like I don't want to deal with you. But I also think Juan does that on the show. I think he may feel like Robin does things and says things for the show that he don't want to participate in because Juan don't like it being on the show. So I think it's a thin line between Robin doing shit for the show, which pisses him off. Okay, he then walks away. Versus he don't care for her at all. I do think Juan care for Robin, but I also feel like they would never go any further than this weird ass roommate situation they currently have. Okay, he was pissed. He was pissed. Yeah, but then okay, when he brought up how you know who I am, you know who I am as a person, okay, and you keep bringing up what I did, but you never bring up what you did not do. I'm like, oh, here we go. You cannot try to point fingers at other people when they are addressing how they feel about you. And Robin telling you how she feel about you when the kids first are born does not mean it's time for you to bring up whatever you felt like she didn't do back then either. Again, girl, anyway, that was them. Now we get to the wedding stuff, okay? Because that's all that it was. Now let's see. We have the ladies, okay? We see Ashley and Candice. We see Karen's face. We see Giselle's face. We see Robin's face. We see Mia's face, and also Wendy's face, okay? Because all the guests are arriving, And at first, everyone was getting along. It was a fun time being had by all, even though Candice called Ashley an ogre as she talked to her mom or whatever. But as you see, they still sat next to each other, and a fight did not break out between Candice and Ashley. Okay, that did not happen. Now, Wendy walked in and she did speak to Robin, but she did not speak to Giselle. And when Candice then said, "Are you going to speak to Giselle?" She's like, "Don't do that." Did she speak to me? Don't do that. Don't do that, Candice. And I do agree with Wendy. You seen me speak to Robin. Don't question me about speaking to Giselle if you won't ask her about speaking to me. Don't do that, okay? But whatever. Now, Wendy ass could not breathe in her dress. Okay, Wendy and Eddie came to the event. Wendy was laying down in the back seat. Eddie was sitting in the front seat with the driver. The fact that you had to lay down in a car because of your dress, to me, was stupid, Wendy. Main reason you have to sit down at a wedding. If you can't sit down in the back seat of a car, don't wear the dress. Don't wear it. Ain't worth it. Now this is the outfit. Now I have three shots of it. The first one is her after Eddie had to help her get out the car because again she was laying down and she could not move in the dress. Okay, so again that's the first shot of Eddie helping her get out the car. The middle picture is her not really being able to sit down in there. Okay, I was like, Wendy, why did you wear this dress? Now, the third picture is the picture that Wendy posted of her in said dress. I say, Wendy, honey, that's an edited photo. You edited that photo simply because in the photo you look like you can easily breathe and the dress is looser. Okay. And the dress we seen you in on the show, ma'am, it ain't saying, and that's look, I'm not body shaming her or nothing. What I'm saying is she wore a dress to this event that she could not fit. Okay, not that she could not fit, that was too tight. Okay, titties gonna pop out and everything. And she took another picture in said dress, or I don't know when. Okay, but I just don't feel like the dress is the same because it just fits her body completely different in these different photos. And I was like, don't do that. Mm-mm. When you wear a dress to a wedding, you should feel you're a guest. You're a guest. You can't dance in that. She could not sit down, y'all. She could not sit down. I'm like, the dress is pretty. I get it. But again, don't do that. Don't do that no more. Now, Karen's dress was absolutely gorgeous. Okay? Absolutely gorgeous. I loved it from every angle. I love the ruffly. To me, it looked like a flower, and she was, she was what could she be? I don't know. She was something coming up out of flower, but it looked so pretty. Okay, it looked so bellowy. It looked gorgeous. Okay, I loved it. Now let's get to the other people's outfits at the wedding. I could not get standalone shots, so thank God Karen posted this photo on her IG. Okay, Robin. I don't mind Robin's outfit, but Robin's outfit is also forgettable. Her and Ashley to me look, well, no, Ashley looks the worst in my opinion. Truthfully be told, like I don't mind Robin's outfit, but Robin is also just unforgettable. A Scala's yellow dress was amazing. Pops of color always make people stand out. So that's smart, smart, smart. Candy looks like a gypsy. Gypsy, tramps and thieves, or whatever. A pretty gypsy, but a gypsy nonetheless. It was a simple black dress. Nothing special about that. Again, Karen's outfit was amazingly gorgeous. I didn't mind Giselle's outfit. Giselle looked fine at the wedding as a guest. I was like, I guess so. I guess even her little boot, okay, and her other shoe, but the dress looked fine. Mia also looks nice. And I think she looks nice as a guest. Okay, I think as guests of weddings, they all look great except Ashley. Um, but that's fine. In this angle of the photo, you can still see. I feel like Wendy came brief. I think she's sucking it all in. But she looks great. Ashley, I just don't know. I don't know what she's wearing. Is it a jumpsuit? Is it a onesie? Is it, is it a dress? I'm not sure what it is. What is that? Velvet? Is it blue jean? I don't know. Ashley to me, Mr. Mark. Everyone else to me looks great. Her hair was cute and simple. That's fine, but I just do not like her outfit. I like her shoes. But yeah, it's a no for me. But they have their Karen had to climb 5 sets of stairs. Okay, I was like, who said, yeah, let's have Karen have to walk up all these stairs to get to Ray to say their vows, and they both have to then walk down these 18 flights of stairs to get back down to the people. I'm like, who said that? Who said that? Okay, but again, they said these loving vows to each other. Karen brings up how, they've had a hard time and she did not know if they would make it, to be together for these 25 years, but they have. And so she's happy that her and her husband were able to renew their vows and are still in love. Okay. And Macy Gray performs um for them as they sang. Also, when Karen, I put a video on my IG, Karen walked down the aisle to Al Green's Let's Stay Together. So when she's walking slowly, she's dancing to that song, since, well, since we can't sing it. Anyway, but y'all know the song. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. But again, I think for the most part, as wedding guests, people, everyone looks okay. I still don't like Ashley's outfit. I'm gonna keep saying that until I don't say no more. Ray looked fine, his little suit, Karen, was dancing. It was a good time. A good time was really being had by most. Okay, by most. Now the rest of the event, in my opinion, was really about Chris and Michael. Okay, because Michael finally got there. He was happy to see Juan. You know what I'm saying? Um, he did meet the other because Michael hasn't met the other men. He had not met G. He had not met Dre. I I think we had to have met Wendy husband because it's a different season. But again, the men met him, the Michael, and for the most part, no one really had an issue with him. Um, just really Candice and Chris. Okay, and Candice brought up how she feel like Michael is morally wrong, or she doesn't think Michael is morally right to be Ashley's husband. I'm not okay. But when Juan then the judge, the two white men, two white bald men fussing, and the black men come in and mediate. Okay, so Juan wanted them to have a conversation. Let's go out the bullshit or whatever. A conversation needs to be had between you two, and because Michael and Chris were like, I think the only one between them was maybe Candice. So um they were sitting there and it was just an awkwardness because again, well, let's have them talk about what, talk about not like each other. And so when Giselle kind of breaks it off saying how me and Michael have had issues, um but we were able to have a conversation and we're in a good place now, and see that's kind of what happens, meaning if you and Chris are not in the best space, y'all just need to talk, have some kind of conversation and see where it goes from there. And Michael then insults Chris basically and saying, well, Giselle, you are an intelligent person and we can have a conversation to resolve issues because you're intelligent. Meaning you're calling Chris stupid. And I'm like, but how? The last issue y'all had was that Robin and Juan's engagement, and y'all both were drunk, and you went up to him starting bullshit, Michael. So again, I think both Chris and Michael need to just squash this white bald man beef and leave it be, okay? Because it's stupid. So Chris tries to be, the bigger man and say, look, I'm saying things happened at Juan and Robin's engagement party last year. Fine, things that happened, but I can let it go so that we can move on. Now, I think Chris' point in saying that was, I'm not going to apologize for what happened because we both played a part in it. But we can say something happened and that we should be able to move on from it. But Michael then, oh, that, I can't take people being mean to my wife. And Chris even said, I get that. I get that you don't want anyone being mean to your wife. However, in that moment last year, you came at me and I felt disrespected. So Chris is being the sensible boy white man, and Mike was being the insensible. It's not insensible. Well, he's being the one. He's being the more difficult white man. Okay, and I'm like, whatever. So Michael then say, well, you saying that you felt disrespected is a backhand way of trying to apologize, or about you putting your hands on me. Now I'm like, again, two white men on this show fussing about much of nothing really, and Michael, who feels entitled to an apology as if he didn't do shit, it makes me mad. But I also feel like I don't give a fuck either. I feel like two bald white men fussing does not matter to me, and I'm like, I want them both to shut up. Now, Robin then jumps in. Now, also, I want to say this. I do wish the conversation could have been had without the women there. I think Giselle, Robin, because Ashley wasn't even at the table. Okay, Candice was sitting there, and so was when Robin was too. But a part of me wish it could have been a conversation between Juan, Michael, and Chris just to get some shit straight. But Robin then pops up and say, Michael, you can't act like you didn't do anything wrong, which is true. I 100% agree. But I'm like, Thunder Robin, shut up, okay? Let Juan fix these white ball men from fussing, okay? And Michael then say, what did I do? What the fuck? What you mean? I'm like, oh god, was that a real question, Michael? Or was you being bullshitty? Okay. Anyway, when Michael then say, what did he do? Candice gets pissed. I can't stand this shit. This is white privilege. You know what I'm saying? This is the whitest privilege I've ever seen. I can't take this white. I'm like, Lord, if you say white privilege one more time, I'm going to scream. And she gets up walking away saying, Michael is acting like, saying, he can't do shit wrong and he wants everybody to kiss his ass. Fine, 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 whatever. How he just paid people off and then degrades his wife for his own little sexual desires. I'm like, I want Candice to stop caring about what Michael and Ashley has going on. Let them be. If Ashley is okay with that man being her husband, doing whatever else, stop getting upset about that. Let that white man be nasty. He ain't your nasty white man. Chris is your nasty white man. Leave that be, okay? Anyway, so again, she gets up and walk away. And I do think Chris didn't like her getting upset and walking away. I think Chris prefers when Candice could possibly just shut the fuck up, which rarely ever happens. Okay. Anyway, so at this point in time, why can't y'all just squash the beef? Okay, and leave it be. Okay, and excuse me, they both agree, both Michael and Chris, that they don't even have an issue with each other because they never did. The issue always came about the beef between Ashley and Candice, which would then spill over into one of them saying something about the other person's husband, and then Michael would insert himself in the bullshit of it all. But again, Chris and Michael never really had to have an issue. Had one or both of them, Michael, not been trying to insert themselves in the beef between Candice and Ashley. Boom, pow, pow. So they, shake hands. They agree to not speak on each other's wives or whatever. And then Michael gets a hug from Juan. And I think Giselle said, oh, Michael every morning was to hug Juan. I was like, not for her to hug Juan. Anyway, so again, they've squashed they shit. But I was like, I just really wish all of this could have happened a long time ago because it was really no reason, wrong button. It was really no reason for them to have issues for this long. But they did, so that's on them. Now we then see Robin, talking about how there's no rush for her and Juan to plan a wedding and because they're building a house. But as they sitting there, Juan calls an Uber or a Lyft, I don't know which one, because as he said, I'm leaving because I have to work in the morning. I'm like, Juan, again, Juan is never around. He just isn't. And I really need her to realize, girl, you worry about what Michael like, where's Juan? Juan ain't never around either, whatever, okay? And he leaves in an Uber. I was like, mm. Now we see Juan and Robin like not really being loving. We see Ray and Karen lovingly dancing. Okay, we see Wendy and Eddie, having a good time, whatever. We see Michael and Ashley having a good time, loving and we see couples having great times, except Juan and Robin. Okay, we see Giselle lonely because that's what she is on the show. We then see Chris and Candice in the corner talking. Okay, we hear their mics or whatever, and Chris is like, I just don't like how you saying the whole white privilege thing. I'm saying sometimes, even if it's true, you don't always have to express things in the moment. And Candice does say things about Michael not thinking how that makes Chris feel. And that just goes with you dating someone of a different race. It'll be the same thing if Chris says something about a black person, he would have to feel, well, damn, how would Candice feel about me saying these things? So I can understand Chris not being happy with the white privilege living on. But I'm like, Candace wasn't wrong. But Candace having a white husband, you have to think, will he be offended? And I think he was. I don't know why, but whatever. And so she then said, that motherfucker thinks everybody need to bow down to him, and I'm not gonna do that. And I'm like, I don't think Michael wanted Candace to bow down to him. But I think Candace, she then said, like, he didn't even want to have a conversation with you. It's like, I know, but so what? You know, she said, I get it, but at times you need to take a moment and see the other side of things. Meaning, you get so pissed in the moment, you don't get something else is on the other side of the conversation. Again, Candace getting upset could have made it be a whole fight. It didn't happen, but it could have. I think somebody said Chris be trying to make sure he's cool with people, and he try to calm her down sometimes so much so that people think he's the sensible one. And I do think that's what he is or whatever. But Ken is always Cannon. But again, his thing was you got pissed off not thinking about, just the other side of the I don't care if he did not want to talk to me again. The conversation was still had or whatever. And then she then tells Chris to shut the fuck up, talking to me crazy, and she walks away. He like, man, fuck my life, as she walks away. But again, Candace telling Chris on camera to shut the fuck up. The same thing they fussed about G say he can't say to Mia often. We see Candace consistently probably said that to Chris. Okay, and I'm like, Now they do the whole show edits in the end, not show, but the show clips is what happened at the end. It says Mia and her mom continue to work on the relationship. Gordon and me are currently building a new home and plan to have a suite for mom. The budget is not low, okay? No low budget here, okay? For Wendy is still Wendy is still loving happiness, her boobs, and all of her tweaks, her boobs and her ass. She's currently working on a memoir, I'm like, for what? And prepping for the release of her candle, which she will not be limiting to one wick. Girl, I'm still not buying no candle, because if the one wick was $50, I'm just assuming the 3 wicks will be 1,000. Okay, I'm leaving that be. What Candice has released her full-length album, Deep Space, that Jaylee will never listen to, and it said it was a great success. Chris is still acting as her manager when her husband Jer, despite these concerns, and Chris and her mother-in-law, Chris and his mother-in-law now barely speak. That's not surprising. Alfie is thriving in her mommyhood. She is still not keen on Michael's movie making dreams. She prefers he focus less on producing and more on reproducing baby number 3. Girl, already, Giselle is no longer dating her mystery man and instead had a hot girl summer. Giselle was never dating the mystery man. Okay, she be fooling y'all and y'all be listening to her. She's practicing being more emotionally available. I think that's a lie. But much like Hotel Giselle, it's a work in progress. It's a 50-year struggle. It's going to take her 50 more years to get to that. Karen, the Hugers are in the newlywed phase following the vow renewal ceremony. Karen continues to take her ambassador role very seriously and has since filmed another Suri tourism video, this time in Suri, County. And lastly, with Robin, the one person I feel like can lead the show, Robin and Juan have moved into their new home where there's enough room for another baby Dixon. No, it's not. The couple has still not set a wedding date because they may not ever get married, but Michael has several leads on bachelor party venues. And that was the whole season, y'all. There's a 4-part reunion. It better be good because it better be. I don't think they need a 4-part reunion. I'm gonna leave it be. Anyway, that's all I have. Do not forget to do what? Like the video, comment in the comment section. Always follow me on social media. Again, like the video, y'all, and subscribe because y'all should. Anyway, I have to go. I will see you when I see you. Peace.